same time, in order to continuously take rebirth, we need to accumulate enough merit to able to take a good rebirth continuously many lifetimes until we become a Buddha. At the same time, make sure we not let any of the negative thoughts arise. When you realize my attachment going to arise, immediately you need to control it. When you realize, when you feel my anger is arising, immediately you need to control, you need to minimize through applying the antidotes according to the engage in Bodhisattva, the text. Now, so we need to understand what is the consequence of all the negative thoughts. What is the consequence or result of the positive thoughts? For example, when the positive thoughts arise for a short time, just 10 minutes, when you have a positive thoughts for 10 minutes, for the 10 minutes, you feel very peaceful, you feel very relaxed. Particularly when you generate pure love, unconditional love towards few people, few person, you feel very relaxed, you feel very peaceful. While you are practicing great compassion, when you look around the environment, the place where you live, the house where you live, what you eat, the drink or what you drink, you feel everything is so nice. The food is very delicious. The drink is very tasty. The friends are very nice. Your family are very nice. Because that moment you got the positive thoughts, you are living within the positive mental states. Clear? Okay, therefore first, in order to make sure you fully aware the positive thoughts are very important. It brings happiness. First, you cultivate pure love towards your family. Don't think about the negative attitudes. Just purely you generate pure love. Wish all this my family be happy. I wish all my family free from suffering. The same attitude you can extend towards your neighbors. Don't remember their negative attitudes. Don't think about their negative things. Just you purely, generate love and compassion. Within the these positive attitudes, you can imagine you are looking around your friends and your family, particularly your family. Yes, all your families, your brother, sister, uncle, auntie, your husband, your wife, your children, they look very nice. Then you can extend the mental attitudes towards all people who live in Singapore, whether they are Singaporean or non-Singaporean, no matter, just cultivate pure love and compassion towards them. And look at around them. Yeah, they're also same human being as you. They don't want suffering, same as you. They want happiness, same as you. They are also going through a lot of suffering. Then you can see everybody living in Singapore, they are nice, they are good person. Then you can extend the same attitude to all human beings on this planet. Very easy to be able to practice pure love and compassion. Yes, in this moment, you don't have a sense of attachment, anger, hatred. Your mind is full of positive thoughts. Yes, you can feel the peacefulness, happiness, harmonious. This moment, you are experiencing the happiness because of the positive thoughts. Now, we can go in the opposite way. First, you visualize one of your family who are always annoying you. No matter your husband, your wife, your daughter, your son, your father, your mother, no matter, you just visualize just one person who always annoying you, always complaining you. And let the anger arise. Let the hatred arise. Continuously the anger let arise. The hatred let arise. Now you look at one of your family. He looks very ugly. And also now you must feel what kind of feeling do you have? Peaceful? No. Can you feel happiness? No. You feel very angry? Then second, same anger and hatred you can cultivate towards all your family, their neighbors, that all people who live in Singapore. You have a very strong anger and hatred for everybody in Singapore. How do you feel? Do you feel happiness? Do you feel peacefulness? No. Therefore, okay, so what does mean, how to practice Buddhism? Very simple. After you really understood, when the negative thoughts arise, it brings a lot of suffering, mental suffering, then gradually, physical suffering, they gradually can affect whole environment. At the same time, when you generate positive thoughts, then you can feel, yes, positive thoughts like love, compassion, altruism, bodhicitta, first make you happy. Then its effect towards your family, then your neighbors, then all people, then its effect to all human beings, all sentient beings. Therefore, our practice is very simple. Gradually, with the wisdom, try to degenerate, try to minimize the negative thoughts as much as we can. Try to cultivate, try to develop, further develop the positive thoughts, particularly love, compassion, altruism, bodhicitta. In order to increase the positive thoughts, particularly bodhicitta, in order to decrease the negative thoughts, anger, hatred, it doesn't cost anything. You need some simple effort. So, until this lifetime, we really don't know why we are not happy. Today, due to the Shantideva, due to Buddha Shakyamuni, due to your Guru, we realize, we understood. I am not happy, we are not happy, all human beings are not happy, all sentient beings are not happy because of the negative thoughts. The negative thoughts bring the negative consequence. Why someone always looks very peaceful, looks very happy, they don't have a lot of saving, they don't have he or she doesn't have a big house, he or she doesn't have a expensive car, he or she doesn't eat a kind of very big breakfast, lunch and dinner, he or she doesn't wear expensive clothes or jewelry, watch, phone, everything is simple. The house is very simple. Inside house, there are very few things, not lot of things as we have. They don't, have a car. They don't eat a, 3 time meals. Only eat maybe 2 times. Wearing simple old clothes all the time. But the person always looks happy, peaceful, smiling all the time. Why? The person understood how to control negative thoughts, how to increase the positive thoughts. So if you very serious about following Buddha teaching, live simple life and always try to increase the positive thoughts. Always try to degenerate, minimize the negative thoughts. Then within 1 month, within 1 year, you can feel I am changed. I am more happy. I can feel peaceful all the time. That's what we need. Am I right? As a Buddhist, we should not think I can be very happy, I have a big saving. We should not think I can be very happy if I have a, expensive car, big house, expensive jewelry, expensive watch and phone, eat, like a 3 time meals in the 7-star restaurant. No. So many of have also already have experience, right? So today we open the the chapter number, the consciousness, particularly the stanza number. I ask you to read. I hope you read. Stanza number 28. We start from the 28. 28. So because the last week and today we're going to study how the negative thoughts is so powerful. 28. Although, right, enemies such as hatred and craving have neither any arms nor legs, and are neither courageous nor wise. How have I, like a slave, been used by them? It's very correct, right? Anger, hatred, they don't have a hands and leg. They don't hold any weapons. They don't have a kind of encouragement. They are not wise. But since, beginning last time, okay, just don't forget about the beginning last, forget next, previous life. This lifetime, whether we are like a monks and nun, whether you are a lay person, everybody becomes slave of anger, hatred, attachment. For example, how, somebody think, how I can be like a slave of attachment? Very simple. First, I'm talking about the attachment based on human being. First, we met one person. Neither person looks attractive nor ugly. We just met a person. Then we, chit chat for short time. Then we separate. After a few days, we met again. Then we chit chat more. Then we know more each other. Then somehow you have a kind of misconception towards the person. When you have a misperception, the kind of when you have mischaracteristic on the person, towards the person, your way of thinking, your way of looking is become very different. Clear? Correct, right? Then you exaggerate, you add extra quality. Oh, this person, the way of speaking is so kind of beautiful. A person has a beautiful face. Oh, the person have a good heart. Then your mind, distract towards a person. Slowly you are generating attachment. Once your mind attached to the person, slowly everything can see totally positive. You cannot see any negativity towards the person. Then the attachment become more stronger. When the person left, you miss the person. When you ask the person, come to, see again, come for tea and drink or food. The person said, I'm so busy, I cannot come. How do you feel? Feel happy? You get upset, you get angry. How come? We are friends. The person is not coming, you get anger. Then the attachment becomes so strong. Then now you are chasing after the person. You are running after the person. You are running the person because of the attachment. Now you become slave of attachment. Right? Now think about the anger. Now both of you become friends. You chase the person for many years. If you are lucky, in a way say lucky, or with some condition, the person come to in your life. Whether you are married or not, just come to your life. You feel happy. You feel happiness. Now you can do simple experiment based on your experience. How much happiness you have when the person come to your life? How much suffering, discontentment you have when the person come to your life? When you compare the suffering and the happiness, 80% or 85% or 90%, you have a suffering, discontentment. You have a maybe 10 or 15%, you can say happiness. But do we realize? No, you don't realize. Now the same person you become friend come to you in your life, then slowly somehow you always have a disagreement each other. You want to say, I want to eat a Chinese food. Your friend say, no, I don't like Chinese food. I want to eat Indian food. You don't like Indian food. But still, with a sense of unhappiness, you went to Indian restaurant, eat Indian food. Why are you are eating Indian food? You know you are not happy. So you are not, uh, you always have a kind of disagreement about the food, like a going holiday, you like a Korea, your friends like a Japan, you say I want to go to Korea, your friends I want to go to Japan. Can you go separately? Cannot. Then now you can say slowly you are generating, dislike. Then what happened? Anger. And the anger becomes so strong, then you have a verbally fighting. Then slowly physically fighting. Then slowly you cannot live without the person. The person is not, uh, happy going with you all the time. Therefore, you can see this day, all over the world, someone killing someone, killing, abusing, threatening. Then the anger becomes so, like a power, so strong. Then what you eat, what you drink, what you wear, where you live, everything is look like kind of overfull, right? The food you eat, no taste. The drink you eat, the water you drink, the juice you drink, no taste. The comfortable bed where you sleep is become very uncomfortable. The house where do you live is become very kind of it become like a prison. You don't want to stay in the home, you don't want to sleep, you don't want to eat, you don't want to drink. Now actually you are kind of already become like a very big, you become actually a slave of anger. Now you can see the anger, hatred destroying your happiness, destroying your environment, destroying your life. Correct? Therefore, you can see this stanza said that although the enemies refer to the negative thoughts, such as hatred, craving, have neither any arms nor legs, and are neither, courageous nor wise. How have I, like a slave, been used by them? Actually, we are being used by the negative thoughts, particularly anger, attachment, ego, jealousy. You do simple experiment, or you just sit outside in your, you just look at from your window. You can see everybody, going here. When you see someone, you think, wow, the person is very good, look nice. You are generating attachment. Oh, this person is very ugly. You are generating hatred. Oh, the person is neither ugly nor attractive. So within a short time, we are generating all kinds of negative thoughts. Unfortunately, we never ever realize for the short time we generate all kinds of negative thoughts. Therefore, when you just sit on your chair or bed, you feel I'm so tired. You didn't do any physical activities, but you feel I'm so tired because for the short time you generate all kinds of negative thoughts, but you haven't aware it. Therefore, you feel so tired. If you do continuously this kind of habit, if you have this kind of habit, always generating the negative thoughts, then of course you can say, I'm not happy at all. Therefore, since today when we read this stanza number 28, must think, since today I don't want to be a slave of negative thoughts. Can you say, no, since today I'm not going to be a slave of negative thoughts. Since today I'm happy to slave of love, pure love, okay? Pure love, pure compassion, bodhicitta. When you become a kind of servant or slave of great compassion, it's good for you. Becoming, slave of bodhicitta, great compassion, it gives you a lot of happiness. We must change our attitudes. The next one, please read. Dwell within my mind, at their pleasure cause me harm. Yes, I patiently endure them with anger, but this is inappropriate patience. Right? Now, this is the point. First, we need to not just, verbally say the negative thoughts are bad. You really need to strongly believe these negative thoughts are not good at all. But what I can do, that anger is no good, attachment no good, ego no good, jealousy no good. But this is always with us. Where? In our heart. We are living together with them for whole life. Whole life. For a while they dwell within my mind, at their pleasure they cause me harm. Right? Attachment arises. Attachment looking a particular food. You listen to the attachment, you try to get the food, at the last the attachment harm you. The anger also looking at food. You listen to anger, you feed the food for the anger, at the end, anger harm you. Right? For example, you don't like someone, you're not just stop there, just simply dislike. When you dislike, then you try to do bad thing for the person. Then dislike kind of become, or dislike become trigger, the anger becomes stronger. Then one day, actually, anger will harm you, harm us. Yet, I patiently endure them without any anger. Now you can see how we are stupid. We thought I am very intelligent. I know everything, right? We believe I'm educated. In a way, yes, you are very educated. You can read English, you can read books, you can use the computer, you can do all kinds of things that from that point of view, we think, I am very intelligent. Actually, we are not. We are not. Because I patiently endure them without any anger. Until have you very angry with your attachment? Anybody have a very strong kind of sense of dislike towards your anger? Do you like your anger? Yeah, you said no, but have you tried something to destroy anger? No. Two no, right? You dislike, you don't like, but you have never tried to do something. That means you are not intelligent. For example, when you walk around, when the field, suddenly the sun, the weather becomes, the sun becomes so bright. What do? Immediately you open your umbrella, you use the umbrella. So we have to be like that. If you really don't like your anger, you must do something. What you can do? The umbrella doesn't work. What you can do? Just what you can do. Compassion. How you can practice compassion? Again, here we have a serious misunderstanding. I said many times, when you angry with the Mr. B, cultivate compassion towards whom? Mr. B. B, cultivate towards Mr. A. You're angry with Mr. B, cultivating compassion towards Mr. B. Suddenly, I wish all sentient be happy. Right? It's very simple, very easy, but it doesn't really, affect towards your anger. Therefore, immediately you generate love towards Mr. A. Right? So you must remember you have a full bag of medicine. You got headache. Your head is very painful. Then suddenly you take the the vitamin A, B. It doesn't work. We are like that. So many years we attend many teaching. We read lots of books. You have the knowledge. Actually, compassion, love is the best antidote of anger. But when anger arises, you never apply the antidotes. Suddenly you remember praying, chanting, right? So we shouldn't be like that. So without any anger, but this is inappropriate and shameful time for patience. You can be patient with your enemy. You should not be patient with your anger, attachment, desire, hatred. No. If you keep patient with your negative thoughts, then the negative thought really going to harm you, harm us. Shouldn't be patient. Stanza number 29. Please read. Patiently endure them with anger. But this is an inappropriate, shameful time for patience. 30. Should even all the gods and demigods rest against me as my enemy? They could not lead nor place me in the roaring the fire of the dead. Okay, stop there. This deepest here. Now again we can see here. Normally, what we are very concerned about other. Oh, I should not say bad thing towards them. Maybe they will become my enemy. We are very careful when we talk to the people, right? We are very worried. What he is saying here, should even all the gods and demigods rise up against me as my enemy? That means saying, it's okay. You practice Dharma, even though all your family become your enemy, all human beings become your enemy, all sentient beings, become your enemy, they cannot bring you, push you in the hell bin. Cannot. Right? Cannot. They could not lead nor place me in the roaring fire of the deepest hell. Do you believe these words? right? It's very true. For example, you are a very simple, ordinary person. I said just before, you have a very simple life. When you order breakfast, you order only pao and maybe a cup of tea. Other person order, all kinds of food for breakfast. Breakfast. If you having the best breakfast with the positive thoughts, you are having the simple breakfast with a peaceful mind, the pao is very delicious. The tea is so delicious. The next to you, he or she ordered full table of breakfast. You can see many people order lots of food. You can see the person is not happy. They order a lot of food, they eat all kinds of food, but you can see the person is not happy. The person cannot feel the happiness. That means the happiness is not depends on your food, not depends on your house, not depends on your big saving. Right? It doesn't mean make sure here you should not have a misunderstanding. Therefore, I told the story in Tibet because during the Milarepa time, he didn't have his own house. In Tibet, you know it house. You can stay in the camp. Singapore, you don't have a camp, right? Even though you cannot sleep in the park, cannot. But somehow he didn't have let's say anything. Many times, many times, he doesn't have actually, the proper clothes can cover his body. Therefore, one person in the village, he got so inspiration to see Milarepa, not having anything, practice Dharma. And he thought, I must practice Dharma as Milarepa. Then what he did, remember? He gave away his animals, house, field, went to the mountain for the maybe few months. After a few months, he came back to the village. Too late, right? There's nothing. Then he said, the beggar Milarepa make me beggar. Right? So when you hear the story, what do you need to learn? In order to practice, you need a kind of strong patience, right? C-O-T, patience. Also, you need to know how to practice Dharma. If the village person, he really wanted to practice Dharma, he no need to give away his house and animal and cow and sheep and field. He can live as a normal lay person, can practice Dharma. Also, all of you, right? So in order to practice Dharma, you have to survive. You need a house, you need a car, you need a food, you need a money. It doesn't mean your happiness only depends on them. No. Therefore, there's a lot of misunderstanding, even though many Tibetans say, oh, I want to practice Dharma, I'm going to give away everything. This is kind of misunderstanding. So this one you must think, all human beings, all sentient beings become my enemy. They never, they cannot push me or they cannot lead me all the way to the roaring fire of the deepest hill. But the negative thoughts can. Even the one moment anger, anger arising one moment, the short moment anger can lead you in the roaring fire of deepest hell. Therefore, we think the negative thoughts are my enemy, not any of the human being. Even though they become my enemy, they cannot do much. Right? Then continuously the example. Now you and your friends become, kind of enemy. They don't like you. They don't like you. They wish you are having all kinds of sufferings and problems. They try to do, all the nasty thing. You can have sufferings. But you are very smart. You are very smart. You are living simple life, simple food, very simple house. Inside house, you don't have a lot of decoration. You don't have a lot of expensive thing. But you living, you have a simple life. You are always happy. But your enemy try to destroy your happiness. Try for many times, many different ways. But you always need to remember. You remember, yes, anger is no good, and not let it arise. My enemies, my friend try to harm me. Let them try to harm me, but I not let my anger arise. Just compress your anger, control your anger, right? Because anger are more serious than your enemy. Therefore, you need to control your anger and negative thoughts. Please read 31. Conception in the moment can cause which we make even though mountain to remain. Therefore, this continuously talking about the consequences of the negative thoughts. 32. Capable of remaining for such a length of time. And yes, all other enemies are incapable of remaining for such a length of the time. Right? So, for example, somebody try to giving you a lot of problems for this lifetime. Just you can imagine you have an enemy, kind of same age, maybe much younger than you, but the enemy try to give you a lot of from whole life. Do you think your enemy can give you suffering for whole life? Cannot. Maybe he or she can give you suffering for 1 week, maybe 1 month, few years. He or she cannot give you continuous suffering for many, many years. Cannot. But the anger, hatred, ego can give you long time suffering. But the physical enemy cannot. Therefore, here it's very clearly, all other enemies are incapable for remaining for such a length of time as can my disturbing conception. Enduring enemy has neither beginning nor end. Right? So we really don't know how many in the past, how many lifetimes we have a suffering. We don't know in the future how many years we have to experience, we have to go through suffering. Do you know how many years we have to go through suffering? Do you know? Yes, we know. You must say, I know. You must say, I know. If you practice Dharma today, every day, right? We can stop going through suffering. It's up to you. If we don't practice Dharma, if we don't apply the antidotes of each of the negative thoughts, then yes, the enduring enemy won't have an end. They have no ending, they have no beginning. That there's an end or not, it depends on us. Depends on us. Stanza number 33, please read.
In the future, we will live only misery and harm.
Yes. Do you really believe this sentence? Yes, right. If I agreeable honor and entrust myself to other, they will bring me benefit and happiness. But if I entrust myself to this disturbing conception, in the future they will bring what? Only misery and harm. Let's say, someone become your enemy. But if you, say sorry to them, you try to be friend with them, then one day your enemy become your friends. They can bring happiness. They can benefit for you. If you try to be friend with your, the disturbing conception, if you entrust yourself to the disturbing conception, in the future, what happens? They will bring only misery and harm. So here, what you do think? Yes, it's a very common due to your own habits, due to your own action. Someone become your enemy. Someone become your, dislike person. Someone doesn't like you, but there's a way that your enemy can be your friend. We can see someone you have become your best friend for a few years. After a few years, he or she become your best enemy. After a few years, the enemy again become your friends. The external enemy can be changed as a friend. Friend become as an enemy. It can be changed. But the negative thoughts, the disturbing conception, always be your enemy. They never be your friend. Looks your friend, but they never be your friend. Right? So therefore, living in the society, so living in the cave, the person who live in the cave, the person who live in the society, they have a big different situation, right? For example, the person living in the cave, he cannot see somebody harming to him. He doesn't have a close contact with anybody. Very easy to practice love and compassion. Very easy to control his or her anger. But living in society, right? Particularly living, closely with many people is not easy to control your negative thoughts. But somehow you need to think someone become your kind of enemy. You must think he or she can be my enemy for a few months or few years. One day he or she become your friends. Also slowly you can forget him or her. He or she is going to forget you. It can be changed very easily. You should not think when someone become your kind of enemy, that one is not so good enemy, right? Someone kind of your enemy, you don't have to be very upset. You should not feel so, unhappiness because you think one day it can be changed. At the same time, same way, when you have a sense of so attachment towards, like object, big house, big car, you have a very strong attachment. You have a desire, but you want the big house, you want the big car. Then what do you think? Even though if I go to buy the big house, a house can be changed, impermanent. There's no point to have a strong attachment craving. From this kind of using this kind of idea, you can control your desire and craving. Right? Until you don't have a big house, big landed property, you feel if I have it, I must be very happy. Right? Many people believe, oh, my house is so small, I want to buy a big house. Let's say you got one of the beautiful house in Singapore, you are living in the house. If you got a lot of kind of destructive emotion, do you think you can be happy in the big house? No. Also, likewise, the family who live in the big valley, in a big house, have a like 10 or 14 bedroom, 10, 15 like bathroom, big kitchen, very expensive car. Also, they believe I'm very happy person. Maybe those people are not so happy. They are living in a small house, they was driving simple car, eating simple, food in the court food. They believe they have a lot of suffering. But actually it's opposite, right? You are more happy. You have a lot of kind of happiness. You can live peaceful life until you have a kind of long conversation with the rich people, with the wealthy people. You're not going to understand their life. When you have a kind of long conversation with the rich, wealthy person, then you wish I'm better not to be a rich person. You really don't know. I have seen, even within the Singapore, someone super rich, driving always sport car, and they come to see me. I can say what kind of misery life they have. Because of he or she believe happiness is coming from the outside. They never believe that negative thoughts are their enemy. Right? So we have to change our mindset, our attitudes. 33. They will bring me benefit and happiness, but if I entrust myself to this disturbing concept, in the future they will bring only misery and harm. So when you when you feel anger is arising, attachment arising, ego is arising, remember this sentence. 34. Joyful and unafraid. If in my heart me. 34. While in a sacred existence, how can I be joyful and unafraid if in my heart literally prepare a place for this incessant, right? Enemy for long durations. That means, as a Buddhist, I'm not saying general people. As a Buddhist, you always need to remember until today, until I study Dharma, I believe I have a kind of all kinds of enjoyment. After you study Dharma, after you follow Buddha teaching, then you need to think how I can always be relaxed, how I can always live, how I can live kind of happy life, because my enemy is always in my heart. My heart. If I just be, nonsense, if I live with a nonsense kind of life, happiness and joys, but at the end, my enemy bring me into lower realms. So that means as a Buddhist, whatever you have a time, kind of little free time, because you have to walk. When you have a little free time, the free time you must think how I can destroy my enemy. When you have a little free time, you should not think, oh, I have a little free time. I just want to have I want to enjoy my free time with a drink coffee, tea, chit chat with friends. No. When you have a little free time, you take the free time, use the free time, think how I can destroy my enemy. Because you are the root of suffering, right? The root of suffering, the primary cause of suffering is within us. Doesn't mean you are living in one house. One corner is your, other corner is your enemy. You are living with you need to realize I'm always living with my actual enemy. When you have free time, you just should not be careless, should not be just enjoy, doing nonsense thing. Must apply the antidotes. Think how I can destroy my enemy. And therefore, thus Buddha is here. 34. For this incessant enemy of long duration, the sole cause for the increase of all the harm may. 35. And now
shall I never have happiness, if in the net of attachment within my mind, there dwell the guardians of the reasons of my existence. There is a good conception
become my future. 36. Therefore, as long as this enemy is not silent
before my very eyes, I shall never give up exerting myself towards that end, having become angry at someone who causes only slight and short-lived harm. Self-important people will not sleep until their enemy is overcome.
Yeah. So now our responsibility become more serious, right? Therefore, as long as this enemy is not slain with certainty before my very eyes, I shall never give up asserting myself towards that end, having become anger as someone who caused only slight and the short-lived harm. Self-important people will not sleep until their enemy is overcome. Therefore, the first line, as long as this enemy is not slain with a sudden before my every eyes, mean. So now we everybody just imagine you really realize the disturbing conception, particularly anger, attached are your enemy. You realize. Now what you need to think, until I destroy the negative thoughts, I'm not going to kind of taking rest. I'm not going to kind of having enjoy life. Therefore, as long as this enemy is not silent with certainty before my every eyes, until you can see your anger, then you should not rest. You can rest after you destroy all your enemy. I shall never give up exciting myself towards this end. Having become anger is someone who causes only slight and short-lived harm. Some important people not safe until their enemy is over. Generally, when somebody give a little harm, somebody harm you, suddenly you get angry. Therefore, you try to, respond. It's a very common. It's very common this time, this day. If somebody give you a little problem, what do you think? I must give, suffering back. Until you give a response, you never be relaxed. Even the simple problem somebody give you, you think he or she harm me, I must take a response. right? We have this kind of thoughts. Even the simple problem, slightly kind of problem somebody give you, you're going to do so many things. You're going to do many different way to return the harm. Then you can be very relaxed. The harmful is very short time. Very short time. You feel you give there or he or she give you just 1 or 10 minutes problem. We thought it's so big. We haven't realized that disturbing, the conception give us sufferings and problem for eons and eons. If we don't control this lifetime, they will continuously give us suffering for many eons. So we should not be just relaxed. Not only we have another problem we have, right? Many of us, many of Buddhist people, include Tibetan or Bhutanese or Nepalese or Himalayan Buddhists. Actually, we really don't know what, as a Buddhist, what we are doing. We really don't know. When they think about, like practicing Dharma, what we do? We do suddenly prostration, which is very good. Suddenly you take out your mala, you do recitation, in a way I say, which is very good. But actually we don't do the ultimate Dharma practice. That's mean what I feel, what I thought about this morning. Until today, our practice, our Dharma practice, is just, flying in the sky. Flying in the sky, you have a lot of imagination, you have a lot of kind of belief, everything is sky. We never put the practice on the ground. So now you can say how, we have to be very serious for practicing Dharma. Practicing Dharma means, at the beginning I said, increase the positive thoughts, decrease the negative thoughts. We must decrease the negative thoughts based on knowing they are our enemy. Not only short time, not only for one lifetime, they are our enemy for eons of eons. Right? Therefore, when you think about, when you remember, when you think, oh, today is a weekend, I want to study Dharma, means you need to learn. You're going to study how to, control, how to destroy your enemy. Enemy refer to what? Anger, hatred. So you are learning, you are studying how I can destroy my inner enemy. You need to learn. Without learning, you cannot recognize the negative thoughts are bad. Without study, you're not going to understand how you can control them, right? You need to study. Then, after you study, after you have a knowledge, first, so difficult to have a proper knowledge, proper understanding how to control, how to destroy negative thoughts. Somebody has a knowledge. Many of our Dharma friend has the knowledge about how to control the negative thoughts. Unfortunately, they never try to destroy the negative thoughts. They have the knowledge, like me. I have knowledge how to control enemy, anger, hatred. But I'm not applying the knowledge, actually destroying the enemy. Second, after you study, and I said 1 hour study this book, the most importantly, second, you need to think how I should destroy my anger, my attachment, my ego, my jealousy. Then remember the sentence, apply the antidotes, and destroy one by one. This means practicing Dharma. What we do, most of Buddhist people, living alone or living together, always do a lot of chanting, recitation. which is very good. But those are the not ultimate dharma, can be destroyed the negative thoughts. Since today, right after you read the sentences, all this stanza, practice dharma means directly you encounter with your negative thoughts. Means is that the right, kind of practicing dharma. Now stanza number 37.
And he, while engaged in violent battle, vigorously desiring to conquer those
All disturbing conceptions, all naturally
prevent suffering and death. Then disregard the pain of being pierced by spears and arrows, and will not withdraw until the day is over.
Now it's a two kind of a stanza can be split into two. The first two lines saying, when we have a war, right, war on the battle, you are fighting with your enemy. It's an external enemy. Two countries, fighting each other. You are the army. You are the soldier from this country, this side of country. So when you are fighting with your enemy in the battle, for you despite your food and drink, even though you got some kind of injury in your there, you're going to despite. You're going to fight continuously until when? Until you fully conquer the place, until fully you eliminate your enemy. Right? You despite for many months. You can see now Russian Ukraine, fighting for how many years? 4-5 years, right? 4-5 years they are fighting. Despite the sufferings and problem, difficulty, hungry, thirsty, destroyed, despite they continue fighting. Likewise, we like have to be like a like an army, soldier. We have to fight with the whom? Our inner enemy. So now when we try to fight with our enemy, how we can fight? Through first step, you need to learn, you need to study. Second, you need to apply the antidotes towards your enemy. That means you have to do a lot of meditation. So while we are meditating, suddenly we feel thirsty. We stop meditation, we drink tea, coffee. Then try to meditate again, you feel hungry. And you forget meditation, try to get food. And sleepy, all kinds of, problem we have. And that time, you despite feel hungry, thirsty, laziness, sleepy, you totally, despite this thing, fully focus on your meditation, try to destroy the negative thoughts. You have to do continuously until you totally become victory over your enemy. So, many of us do meditation for many months, many years. When you think about how much progress you have in your meditation, you can see not much progress, no progress at all. Because we stop between many times. 1 hour meditation, maybe we stop 20-30 times. Feel hungry, get a food. Feel thirsty, drink something. So we cannot, despite all this activity, therefore we don't have a progress or practice. Also, we can feel my anger is not minimized, my attachment is not minimized. Maybe some maybe become more stronger, right? Stronger. Therefore, so not only study, practice the Dharma. Practice Dharma means I'm not asking you to do chanting for a long time, many hours. I'm not asking you do, prostration for few hours. Yes, you can do short time. The most importantly, you do the proper meditation directly in contact with your enemy. Right? Okay. Therefore, next one, sentence number what? 38 or yeah 38. Then when need to mention that I shall not be hated.
Even if I cause many hundreds of sufferings, but now I strive to definitely overcome my natural enemies. This disturbing conception which are the constant source of
my misery. And then when what need to mention that I should not be faint, fight and hate. So these two sentences together, right? Hated and slothful. So we have these two problems very serious, right? In Tibetan we said here 37, so 38, yeah, 38. Yeah, each yidlu. That means what does mean? That's the English word. Faint, hated mean what does mean? You're English speaker, I'm not. Yeah, because you think I don't think I can, I cannot, right? Singaporeans say I cannot. You repeat many times. You should not think I cannot. So one thing I can. Why I cannot? I'm a human being as Buddha Shakyamuni. He has two arms. I also have two arms. Why I cannot? One thing I can. Then the second one, what does slothful mean? Slothful mean delay. Also, first we have a problem. First we think I cannot. Second, you try for 10-20 minutes, then you give up. This too is very serious problem. Therefore, at the beginning of our class, I said we must think in the 2026, within the 12 months, I want to be Bodhisattva. I want to be Bodhisattva. You should not think I cannot. I want to be, I'm sure, you might think, I'm sure I want to be Bodhisattva within 1 year. Can you tell me the truth? Can you? Why cannot? Why cannot? Second is about the laziness. Right? Laziness. Therefore, you should not think I cannot. When you say I can, then you will try. At the beginning, you give up. I cannot. Then you cannot whole lifetime. Right? Therefore, you should not think I cannot. I can be Bodhisattva. If you really think I want to be Bodhisattva, second, what you have to do? You should not be lazy. Always practice bodhicitta, compassion, every day, every moment. Now remember, I teach you how you can practice bodhicitta, great compassion all the time. You can practice bodhicitta everywhere, every time, everywhere. While you are sitting on the MRT, mostly you can see, when you go on MRT, everybody busy with the phone. Somebody doing very important, job in the phone. I can understand. Most of the time, we spend a lot of time with the mobile for nothing. Instead of busy with the mobile, just be quiet. You don't have to close your eyes. That's simple. You look around in the MRT. Can you see everybody so happy? No. Then instead of being busy with your phone, practice compassion. Therefore, you can practice compassion on the train, on the bus, in the food court. Remember, I said when you're in the food court, you must generate sense of love, compassion, appreciation, who cook for you. Also generate love and compassion who clean for you. Sometimes you can see some uncle, aunties looks very physically very weak, but still, collecting the plates, cleaning the plates, separate the food and things. Later on, have you ever practiced love and compassion? Bodhisattva taught them? No, you just throw your cup, you left. Therefore, first you think, I can be Bodhisattva within 1 year in the 2026. Therefore, I need to practice love and compassion for 24 hours. Before you sleep, also you can practice love and compassion. You can sleep within the generating love and compassion. Then, if you sleep 10 hours or 6 hours, 6 hours your mind with the bodhicitta. While you are sleeping, remember, you are accumulating merit. When you wake up, no matter what we do, we remember, oh, I have to do this and this. But you have all kinds of plan in your mind. But when you wake up, when you open your eyes, you remember, oh, I'm so lucky, able to wake up. First trust. What is your first trust? Trust, right? Trust. Practice Dharma. Practice bodhicitta. Short time, you generated bodhicitta, then you can make a plan for 1 day. Then you think, whatever I'm going to do for next 24 hours, whole day, I will do to benefit all sentient beings. Therefore, all your action, eating, drinking, taking shower, going toilet, looking around, can transform as a practice for bodhicitta. Can or cannot? Can or cannot? Can. Can? Good. Can, right? So if you believe I can, so what is your most important task? Every moment, every time, everywhere, practice bodhicitta. In Tibet, there was a very famous robber, right? Like thief, robber. Very famous thief. During the day, he hide in the mountain. Evening come down, nighttime he rob everywhere. People so scared about him. One day, one old lady walking somewhere. Suddenly he met the thief. His name is Ben Kujal. His name was Ben Kunjal. When the lady met him, he thought must be this is the famous thief. Right? Everyone was so scared about him. Then the lady asked, are you Ben Kujal? He said, yes, I am. Then the old lady ran there. So scared he became unconscious, so ran. Then Ben Kujal realized how he is a bad man. I thought, look at the lady ran even though I tell my name. Then suddenly he changed his mind. I look like not human. I look like very kind of, ghost. He thought, since today, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop all this negativity, all that, robbing, stealing things. He's totally stop. Stop. Then he totally changed. Then also gradually he took a layperson vow. And slowly he took the full ordained vows. Then one day he went to the family house to do prayers or puja or chanting. So he's alone in the house. Then he saw one kind of expensive kind of things. He feel I want to steal. He forgot he's a monk. The right hand is just staging towards the object. Then left hand hold the right hand. He said, oh, Ben Kujal is stealing something. You hold. Let me immediately apply the Dharma. Immediately after Dharma, stop stealing. We have to be like, when you generate attachment towards object or person, whatever, immediately you need to control. Right? Then he become very high practitioner. They one day ask, what is your daily practice? What is your daily practice? His answer was simple, very simple, was very important. He said, I always hold awareness of the knife. I always hold awareness like a knife. I always hold awareness of knife and watching, in my mind, watching at my mind, holding awareness of knife and watching my mind. That means awareness is like a knife, watching his mind. When anger arises, like immediately he cut the anger. Attachment arises, he cut. Cut means the physical you cannot cut it. Immediately he control. So we have to be like this, right? So I said, as a Buddha, actually we really don't know what we are doing. What we are doing. We don't really understand the actual Dharma. Now stanza number what? Next is 39. If even infected by meaningless enemies have worn our body like ornaments, then why is suffering the cause of harm to me, while impossible struggling to fulfill the great purpose? Yeah. So history, when you look at it traditionally, someone have a very big fight with someone, the person got kind of big wound, injured. After a few years, they can see the big mark on the face, maybe big mark on the shoulder. The person show us how he is a brave. He said, I fight with someone, even though he had my head, you can see it's the mark. The mark for him is like a ornament. Right? So we also have to fight with the negative thoughts, the disturbing conception. When you go through the difficulties and problems, even though you become very good practitioner, you have a very simple, you become like a beggar, one of the Singaporean beggar. You look very beggar. Actually, this is kind of your ornaments. You become kind of very poor person. You don't have so many things in your house. You don't feel kind of one good discouragement. You don't feel I am kind of loser. You must think I become a very simple person. I become look like beggar. It's look like your ornament. You become like this. You practice pure dharma. Right? 39. We finished the 40.
Hunters and farmers,
Thinking merely of their own livelihood, endure the suffering of the heat and cold, while I am not patient for the sake of the world's joy. Right? This I think everybody can understand. But like a farmer go through a lot of difficulties and problems. Despite all the problem, in order to survive. So why I am not patient for sake of the world enjoy. 41. When I promise to liberate all beings who deal in the 10 directions,
as far as any space, from unnecessary conceptions, I myself also
not his freedom. 42.
thus am aware of even my own capacity to become someone who
Casey perhaps
spoken like that.
Okay, this stanza number 41 or 42, you may need to put together when you practice, when you think about the meaning, that 42. 41 and 42. So when we generate bodhicitta, so we visualize all the Buddha in 10 directions, right? Then we make a commitment to free all sentient beings from suffering. This is our commitment. Now, when I promise to liberate all beings who dwell in the 10 direction as far as the end of space, from this disturbing conception, myself was not yet free from mind. So what he is saying, actually I have a promise, I have a commitment, free all sentient beings from suffering, but myself is I'm not liberated yet from the negative thoughts. Now it looks like you have a kind of little bit confusion. You have a commitment to say, I will liberate all sentient beings, but ourselves haven't liberated yet. Right? Then if you don't, these two stanzas together, you cannot see the point. Thus, unaware of even my own capacity, was it not somewhat crazy to have spoken like that? Yet, as this is so, I must never withdraw from vanquishing my disturbing conception. Right? So, first, I have a commitment for free all sentient being from suffering, liberate all sentient suffering. I must say I haven't liberated yet. I'm still, controlled by the negative thoughts. I'm still slave of the negative thoughts. So, thus, therefore, unaware of even my own capacity, I mean, even though I don't aware, how I am look like. So, when you fully aware you, mean you have a commitment to liberate all sentient being. You must know you haven't liberated yourself. So, even my own capacity was is not somewhat crazy. Therefore, it's kind of little bit crazy, like crazy, or you are a little bit kind of mad person. You yourself haven't liberated yet, but you say, I liberate all sentient being. That, for example, you don't have a money or buying food yourself, but you are saying, I want to buy food for everybody. Do you think the person is a little bit crazy? Right? It's not like us. We say, I will liberate all sentient beings, but ourselves is still not liberated yet. Then now you make a kind of conclusion. I already have a promise for liberate all sentient being, but I haven't liberated yet. I am still under the controlled by negative thoughts. The next, what you have to do? So I need to put a lot of effort. I work more harder to destroy or eliminate my disturbing conception. I must never withdraw, right, from vanquishing my disturbing conception. Means you fully understood. I have a commitment, but I'm still under, controlled by the negative thoughts. I should not be like this continuously. I must eliminate my negative thoughts. Then I myself liberate from the negative thoughts. Then makes sense. I will liberate all sentient beings. Right? So that means in order to liberate all sentient beings, first you yourself also have to be liberated. Otherwise we cannot. Verbally you can say, I will liberate all sentient beings. Practically we cannot. Therefore here you can see the point why we said, I wish to be Buddha. Why? Without becoming Buddha, you cannot liberate all sentient beings from suffering. Without becoming Buddha, you cannot provide happiness for all sentient beings. Therefore, the most important one, I have to be Buddha. Right? For example, you are a very, very intelligent person. All your family have health issues, health problem. So in order to free them from the health issue, you have to be doctor. Becoming doctor is not for, making a lot of money for you. Your main motivation for becoming doctor for what? Liberate or free your family from the health issue. Then in order to free my family from the health issue, free from the sickness and disease, I have to be doctor. Without becoming, very good doctor, you cannot free them from disease and sufferings. Now you can see the point, right? Why we say, I wish to become Buddha. 43. And to do this will be my sole obligation. Holding strong I shall meet them in battle. Yet disturbing conceptions such as this destroy disturbing conception and abandon. 44. It would be better for me to burn, to have my head cut off, killed, rather than never bowing down to those disturbing conceptions. So now you and your negative thoughts become enemy each other. Okay? Until today, you are your friends of your enemy. Right? We are friends with our anger, attachment, desire. Until today, we and our negative thoughts become best friends. What the negative thoughts say, we follow. Now, you must think, my negative thoughts is my enemy. I am their enemy. So, you must say, now let's have a fight. You have to fight with your enemy. Let's have a fight. So, you must believe, you must strongly hold negative thoughts are my enemy. Therefore, it would be better for me to be burned, to have my head cut off, and to be killed, rather than never bowing down to those ever present disturbing conception. Then you can say, I'm okay, I can die, somebody can kill me, whatever they can do, but I never bowing down towards my enemy, which is the negative thoughts. 45. Common enemy, when expelled from one country, simple down another, through when they stand and recover. No similar in this respect, right? So all this is very true. Let's say someone become your enemy. You become very powerful. You expel your enemy from Singapore to Malaysia. Your enemy went to Malaysia. The enemy never be quiet. He try to be more stronger, collect all the weapons. One day will come back to kill you, destroy your family. Right? So inner enemy are not like that. When you expel from your heart, they cannot come back again. They cannot harm again you. Correct, right? So this means external enemy can be changed, weak to stronger, stronger to weak. Totally expel will come back again. The inner enemy, once you expel, when you destroy, they never ever come back again. That means you are totally free from the negative thoughts. 46. Related disturbing conception, wisdom, dispel from my mind. When will you go? When will you do it? When reduce your making effort. The first line, the diluted disturbing conception, when forsaken by the eyes of the wisdom. Right? So we have to see through the wisdom eyes, attachment, anger, all the negative thoughts are my enemy. When you really understood realize through your wisdom mind. When you have enough wisdom, yes, these negative thoughts are no good. That means when you practice compassion, look like the anger is no more there. But still anger is there. Right? So when the wisdom eyes develop, then through the wisdom eyes, we can control ignorance. Now, you're not just fighting with the anger and attachment, you're fighting with your ignorance. Right? The ignorance can be destroyed when we have wisdom eyes. This means when you realize emptiness, then you can control, you can eliminate, you can get rid of your enemies. Then rest of the negative thoughts automatically going to eliminate. Until now, what we are doing, we are fighting each of the negative thoughts. We are not fighting with the root of the negative thoughts. Right? For example, you are stay under the poison tree. Remember, I used the analogy. You are sleeping, you are staying, you are eating under the poison tree. Now you know the poison, the branch dropping the kind of poison on you. You have a itchy, you have a headache, you have all kinds of suffering. Then you thought, oh, this branch producing poison. What do? You cut the branch. Next, this branch producing poison. You cut the branches. You're cutting only branches. It's never going to be end. If you cut the root, if you destroy the root, all the branch going to be dry. Likewise, yes, we can apply, antidotes individually, but most important one, so we have to apply the wisdom to destroy the ignorance, then we can be free from all the negative thoughts. 47. Thus being conception do not exist within the object, the sense of organs between the two, and whereby the existence, how do they harm the whole? They are like an illusion. Thou should despair the fire within my mind. Wisdom. For no real reason, why should I suffer so much in hell? So now it's linked a little bit with the wisdom chapter. So we keep talking about a disturbing conception. Right? Now when we ask a question, where the anger exists, where is anger? Within the object, within the subject. Right? So until today we have experience of arousing anger. When you study anger, where is the anger exists? Is anger exist with the object? We don't know. Look like no. Is the anger exist within your sense organs? We really don't know. Maybe not look like. When you analyze where the anger exists, when the attachment exists, we cannot find, yes, the anger is here, attachment is here. We cannot, pinpoint where the anger exists. But we know through them we have all kinds of suffering, all kinds of problems. For no real reason, why should I suffer so much in hell? The last stanza, 48. Is well. I should try to put the precept to the practice just as the having been explained. If this a doctor's instruction are ignored, medicine. So stanza, the beginning of the chapter, stanza number 1, the last one is the kind of conclusion of the conscientiousness. Please read the first stanza. Having firmly seized the beginning mind in this way, conquered children must never wave themselves to never stray from the distance. The last you can advise or the conclusion. All the teaching, instruction like a what? Like a medicine. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly Shanti, they were, like they are doctor. We are like what? We are like a patient. Therefore, having thoughts about this well, I should try to put this precept into practice, just as they have been explained. If the doctor's instructions are ignored, how will patient indeed cure the hell by the medicine? Right? We are like this. We have doctor, we have the prescription, we have the medicine, but we totally ignore taking the medicine. So how we can be held? Cannot, right? Therefore, a kind of advice by Shanti was saying, when you have a doctor, you must get the prescription. When you get the prescription, when you receive the prescription, when you have the prescription, you must buy the medicine. After you buy it, or you have to eat. How long? How long? Until you fully heal. But we have problem. We eat the medicine in the morning for a short time. Whole day, we have a suffering. Sometimes we don't eat the medicine for 1 week. Also, sometimes we delay. Oh, this day I am very busy. Next year, I will practice Dharma. Then we delay and delay. We never practice Dharma for whole life. Then one day come, you don't have energy. You are too old. Then we cannot practice Dharma. Then we will die without practicing the actual Dharma. All the chanting, recitation cannot be useful while we are dying. Therefore, it's rule very urgent. Okay? Therefore, I said last week, also I have said many times, please be more serious. What does mean more serious mean? Not just verbally chant, not just have a knowledge of Dharma. You must apply the Dharma as much as you can, every time, everywhere, whether you are happy, unhappy, apply the Dharma all the time. Okay? So next class we start through chapter number 5, alertness is linked with a more like a meditation. As a homework, you can read chapter number until 1 to say 20. Okay, read, try to understand, then we can start our class from chapter number 5, alertness. Okay, so at the end, as usual, so this morning we believe, right? Also we believe, also yes, we have accumulated merit. All the merit we accumulated this morning. First, we dedicate for ourselves to able to understand Dharma, to able to practice Dharma continuously until we become Buddha. Then we can benefit all sentient beings. Please, you are dedicate your merit for able to understand the Dharma, to able to practice Dharma, continue to practice Dharma, then become a Buddha. Second, we dedicate the merit to live long life. All the important qualified guru live long life, teach Dharma until we become a Buddha. Last, we dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings, particularly we dedicate the merit for world peace.